Wait, there's more vampires coming to Dragon City after all these years? Well, kind of, but not as in new dragons. Currently, we actually have an old dragon that's been given a skill skin. So you may have already seen it, but this is the vampire skill skin for the Empire Wasteland dragon, and as it says here, it gets given Leech Fang, and the damage and life points on this dragon get boosted by 20%, and you get this spiffy skeletal cool design as well for the actual skill skin itself, which I really like. But if you wanted to have more details on Empire Wasteland as a dragon, it was actually available as an Alliance chest dragon, so some people are going to be really interested. The only downside is that there is no free-to-play option to actually get this skin. But if you want to know the elements of Empire Wasteland and just some general details, you can see them on Ditlep, for instance, or in game. But Ditlep shows us that these are the elements, so that's going to be Legend, Light, War, and Magic, as you can see right there. And we do actually have the animation for the skill skin, which is going to be a little bit off compared to the in-game animation, but look at that. Look how cool that is. That's like some sort of universe exploding, so I kind of dig that. But if we scroll down, you can see that the base category of this dragon is usually category 9. Obviously, you put the skill skin on, you get the boost, so that it will change the dragon to a different category, because category just means like that is the health and damage stat on this dragon. So it would become an exception case dragon, but as a whole, I'm just disappointed that we can't get this free to play. But one thing that I did want to mention is the fact that they have announced this and told us, oh yeah, go and get this skill skin in the offers section. But one thing that I do want to draw your attention to is the fact that it says it's hard to say, but the Empire Wasteland dragon has been taken under his evil wings and can be seen showing off her new vampire skill skin around Dragon City. Where will this lead? Will more dragons succumb to this vampiric control? So it's interesting, but this does mean definitely this is a female, which is very important for Dragon City lore, of course. It's not important at all, but anyway. It's the fact that they're saying will more dragons succumb to this, which is making me think that, well, is this just the start of them introducing new air quotes vampires without actually releasing new vampires? But then that makes me think, like, why are we not releasing just new vampires? Why are we giving existing dragon skill skins? Do they think that we have too many dragons to collect as a whole? I mean, this is literally a collecting game. I've got all of them, as you can see. I actually have tons of extra orbs for all of these vampires as well, because back when they were legends, well, they were super easy to get. And also, and by that I mean, like, when you go to summon them in Summon Happy Hour, because you only need to do one trade of them, and then you just use legendary jokers. So trading for them was super easy, and then, you know, we do still have ads for vampires, and you can still get random drops for them, so it's not like that's changed for them, but they are obviously mythical now. It's harder to empower them. I'm so glad I got Sinful done before that. It's just, you know, the vampires themselves do have bonus skills on top, whereas Empire Wasteland won't. So I guess for the elements themselves, because if we look at, like, Empire Wasteland's first element, that's, I assume, the one that's going to have the actual leech on it if you get the skill skin, I think. If that was the case, I actually really like Legendary Suck as a whole. You can see I do have this dragon here, but I do not have this dragon empowered, and the reason for that is because I actually traded out a lot of my Empire Wasteland orbs to other people before to get other stuff to trade with. So if you're unfortunate like me and you've already traded out some of your orbs, well, GG, go next. I don't know how many I even have, in fact. None. Do I just have none? Well, I may have 0, in fact. That's how many I traded out. So, yeah, if you're like me, you're not going to have a good chance at doing anything with the dragon anyway, so buying an offer would be completely useless. If you are a pay-to-win player and you don't mind purchasing this, which is completely up to you, and it's only like £9, it might be a bit less on another platform. I don't think it would be like a bad purchase. I love vampires personally, so, you know, I don't think it's the worst decision you will ever make. And if you really like the dragon, you really like the skin, I'd say, well, feel free to go for it. But, you know, at the same time, you won't have a second skill unless that's just not written there. But, you know, the actual vampires do have a second skill. It does mean that, well, who else is going to be targeted next? Interesting question. I'm not sure. We'll have to see who gets targeted next by the Dragon City team, but I find the concept interesting at the very least, because again, they're trying new things still, despite the fact that I might have issues with some of the other things they're doing right now, like their events formatting. I like that they're still trying things, you know what I mean? So there is that, but I personally would prefer just getting new vampires in general. But maybe they have a grand scheme, a grand plan of sorts. I'm not sure. I don't know. We'll see as time goes by. But, you know, personally, I'm someone that would rather just have them make new dragons. Because, again, it is a collecting game at the end of the day. So that's where my heart lies. And it's where I would like the heart of this game to lie, ideally. But, you know, it's their choice at the end of the day. I just don't like it when we don't have any choice but to buy the pay-to-win version of it, you know what I mean? Like, free-to-plays just don't have an option. When it comes to skill skins, I guess you could say it doesn't really matter too much, because with a skill skin, if you don't own the skin, well, you're never going to see it. So, yeah, in terms of combat, 100% I get you, but sometimes I just want to own a skin because I think the skin is cool, right? So that's where it becomes a little bit disappointing. You know, I've been running into tons of hexed vampire dragons as well, so every time I see her, it's just going to remind me of these new vampire skill skin concepts running around. But, you know, it is what it is. It's new stuff. I don't mind. I wish that they would do something about, you know, fixing the maze event or whatever else. But, you know, I guess we can't always get what we want. I'm currently sitting here. I guess I'll pick up another Potion Maestro item. And before you ask me, because people always ask me, have I seen some of the leak content and the new dragons coming up? Yes, there is an incredibly cool looking dragon coming up. But as usual, I'm not actually going to state what it is or how it looks, anything like that, until official release comes up. But I find the concept of the dragon interesting. But there are a couple of new dragons that are coming out I really like the design of. And that is another problem, because if I actually really like the design of a dragon, the struggle is going to be if it gets released as either paid only, or I guess I'll do a ×5 on this. Either paid only, or they release it in an event that is impossible to finish, which has been very, very common recently. So, yeah, I don't know. It's like I'm very glad that there are new dragons. They're still making them. They're making them. Wow, this holo really sucked. The one yesterday was good, but I guess you don't get to see a full holo run. GG, go next. But yeah, I mean, there are tons of cool dragons. I got used to the art style in this game after quite a while, I will say, because coming from a different dragon game and then coming to this one, some of the dragons, the old dragons, were really icky, but like Venom Fang, for instance, I love the design of Venom Fang. I love his animations. It's mainly the animations that bring them to life. So the more unique animations they bring out, the better. And like when we get these skill skins, at least if you're paying for it, get a nice animation with it, right? But it is fundamentally a collecting game at the end of the day. So yes, we can talk about meta and the best picks for every single arena ever and every single situation, but at the end of the day, this isn't really a competitive game very much. It is, from the heart, it is fundamentally a collecting game. I know a lot of people ignore that aspect of the game now and just focus on the combat, but personally, I'm very much interested in the collecting bit. So that's why I don't like it when they release things that are completely pay to win only. I get why, but, you know, at least it's not the dragon itself that's pay to win only, because we can trade for that. It's just the skin, so, you know, we will take this loss. The pay to win whales keep the game running by buying things like these skins, and they're not a bad skin. It's not a horrible skin, and it's basically bringing vampires back to life, but I wonder if we'll get an actual vampire. Either way, I cannot wait to see the next upcoming dragon. Of course, we've still got 21 days on this pass with Skeletal Extractor. I am so ready for the next one, and I think a lot of you will be too. But anyway, for now, I guess I will leave you there. I've got my food to collect in a second, then we can skip this battle because it's 8-hour time and there's no point waiting for it. And we should be able to get to lap 17 very shortly, and then lap 18 very shortly after that. So for now, I'm just chilling. I just, you know, people have been bringing out tons of skin concepts for these vampire-esque dragons, or these dragons that aren't vampires yet, and they're making their own skill skin versions of them. And I quite like it. You know what other dragons need skill skins to upgrade them? Regular Titans and possibly Eternals. Even if a little bit of a boost to them. I think that would be fantastic for them. But anyway, for now, enjoy and let me know if you buy that new skin. Are you happy that vampires may be coming back? I know that my lovely Simful is always going to be happy to add more people to his collection.